Welcome to Key Talking Points.
The podcast that makes learning effortless.
No fluff, no jargon, just clear, engaging explanations.
We break down complex topics so you don't have to.
Let's get straight to the point.
Visit keytalkingpoints.com for more.
So imagine this. You're Nathan Clark, serving during World War II. You're in Burma, and you come across these fascinating boots worn by South African soldiers. They're called the Veldkoen, or field shoe, and they are lightweight, flexible, and perfect for the harsh desert environment.
Wait, hold on. Are these like the proto-desert boots?
Exactly. These boots were actually a derivative of a Chukka Boot, made of reversed leather with a crepe sole. Nathan saw them as something special. It wasn't just about functionality, they had this clever fusion of practicality and comfort. But get this, they were originally made in Cairo's open markets for the South African troops.
Wow, so they were already blending cultures before they became a Clark's thing. That's kind of cool.
Absolutely. But when Nathan brought his sketches and ideas back to his brother Bancroft, who was the chairman of Clark's at the time, there were complications.
Complications? Sounds like drama.
Oh, there was plenty of drama. You see, Bancroft and the stock committee didn't think the design would sell. It seemed too informal and perhaps not quite refined enough for British tastes. So poor Nathan had to watch as his idea was repeatedly put on the back burner by their pattern cutter, Bill Tuxell.
That sounds so frustrating. I mean, he probably knew he was onto something, right?
Well, he absolutely did. Nathan was determined. He even rolled up his sleeves and cut the patterns himself, just to make those initial samples happen. And when those weren't gaining traction in the UK, he was persistent enough to market them elsewhere.
This is where his world tour comes in, isn't it?
Correct. In 1948, he established Clark's Australia and began selling the desert boot down there, along with introducing them to the West Indies. But the big turning point came in 1949 when Nathan attended the Chicago Shoe Fair. That's where he met Oscar Schofler, the fashion editor for Esquire magazine. Schofler saw the potential immediately. The crepe sole, the versatility, it all clicked.
That must have felt like validation, finally. I mean, someone important took notice.
Exactly. Schofler was so impressed by the boot's stylish practicality that he decided to feature them in Esquire. Little did Nathan know this meeting would change the course of the desert boot story. After Oscar Schofler decided to feature the desert boot in Esquire, the impact was almost immediate. By 1950, the magazine had published the story, and what was once a niche idea suddenly began redefining casual fashion in America.
Yeah, Esquire wasn't just any magazine back then, was it?
Not at all. Esquire was this cutting-edge, trend-setting authority on men's style. Imagine being a young man in post-war America. Fashion was shifting, and the desert boot fit right into this new casual meets refined vibe. Nathan couldn't have timed it better.
So they were like, these boots are just what we need. A blend of practicality and cool?
Exactly. The Esquire feature called out the crepe sole and understated design as revolutionary. It positioned the boot as something versatile, perfect for a more relaxed but still stylish look. And this wasn't just a fleeting trend. The ripple effects of that article paved the way for global recognition.
And not just in America, right? They became huge in Britain too.
Oh, absolutely. By the late 50s and 60s, the desert boot had become a staple of British subcultures, especially for the mods. These were young, stylish people using fashion as a way to express rebellion, individuality, and, well, pride in being impeccably dressed. Picture Union Jack scooters, sharp suits and desert boots tying the whole look together.
Ah, the mods, always iconic. But wasn't it also linked to some big names in music and film?
That's a big part of its story. Steve McQueen, for instance, the king of cool, was rarely seen without a pair. And then you had the Beatles, Bob Dylan, even James Bond wore them in one of the films. These weren't just famous faces, they were tastemakers.
Hold on. Bond wore desert boots?
Indeed he did. The rakish charm of the boot fit perfectly with Bond's persona, practical yet stylish, and adaptable to almost any situation. It really reinforced its status as a timeless choice for men.
Okay, but I gotta admit, it's kind of wild how one pair of shoes managed to cross into so many different cultural spaces.
That's the beauty of it. From the counterculture movements in Britain to Hollywood glamour, the desert boot became this universal emblem of cool, versatile enough to be worn by mods, movie stars and musicians alike. And the best part, it never lost that unassuming simplicity that made it special in the first place. What's remarkable about the desert boot isn't just its universal appeal, but how its simple, functional design has stood the test of time. Crafted with soft suede and that unmistakable crepe sole, it's hardly changed since the 1950s, yet it remains as relevant and as iconic as ever.
Yeah, you've got to wonder, how does something that simple just stay cool?
Well, that's the beauty of it, isn't it? The simplicity of the desert boot means it can adapt. Whether it's paired with jeans for a casual outing or a blazer for something a bit more formal, it just works. And over time, Clarks has introduced leather versions, incorporating modern comforts while keeping the original silhouette intact.
Okay, but here's the thing. 10 million pairs sold. That's not just cool, that's legendary, right?
Absolutely. And it doesn't stop there. The desert boot isn't just one of the best-selling shoes of all time. It's been recognised as a design that has fundamentally shaped the world of fashion. It's even featured in the British Design Museum as one of the 50 shoe designs that have changed history.
Oh, I love that. I mean, how many shoes can say they've changed history and still be comfortable to wear?
Not many. It's a rare balance, staying true to its roots while evolving with the times. Clarks continues to innovate the desert boot, refining its materials and crafting techniques to resonate with new generations. Yet, at its core, it remains the same iconic piece that Nathan Clark envisioned decades ago.
It's kind of inspiring, really. I mean, isn't that what we all want? To stay true to ourselves while still moving forward?
Exactly. The desert boot has proven that great design is about more than just aesthetics. It's about creating something that lasts, both physically and culturally. And it's safe to say this boot isn't going anywhere anytime soon.
Well, I don't know about you, but this has definitely made me want to dig out a pair. Or maybe, buy a new one. They really are so versatile.
Same here. It's incredible how one shoe, designed in a desert market in Cairo, could go on to make such a global impact. And on that note, I think it's clear. Despite shifting trends and decades of change, the desert boot has truly earned its place as a fashion icon.
And that's all for today. It's been so much fun diving into the story behind this timeless design.
Indeed. Thanks for joining us, and until next time, keep walking through history.